good morning. Good morning. Happy Monday to you all. I am Claricia Myers coming to you live from Virginia. And every morning, every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, I come and share something with you that can help you in your personal life or in your business or in anything that you're doing. And I am a spiritual entrepreneur. I am all about being the best that I can. And I know there are many people out there who want to do the same. And so, my husband has diabetes. And so, I know some other people who have it. And, I had a lot of questions because, you want to know that the medication that you're taking is addressing the problem. So anyway, and last week and the week before, I've been reading a lot about sugar and how too much has negative effects on the body. And so I said, okay, is there a cure? Because it seems like people who have been diagnosed with diabetes, many doctors prescribe certain medications supposedly to address the problem. But really, the medications that are prescribed they're side effects of it, and it's not really addressing the core problem. It's just addressing a symptom. And then when you take this medication, then you get stuck in a never-ending cycle because the medications have side effects that create even more problems. So, for those who have diabetes, the signs of diabetes, some of you already know this, and maybe this message isn't for everybody, but again, it is because every year more and more people are being diagnosed with diabetes, and then you're like, well, they keep, you think, okay, well, you take this for X amount of days or weeks or months, and then gradually they'll start decreasing the dosage, but the dosage only seems to increase, and then more side effects, and it's So I said, okay, let me just look at this. What can we do to address it? And we all know that the foods that we eat, determine how our body rejuvenates, regenerates, and how we can heal ourselves, right? But studies have shown, and every year you see more and more people are dying from this stuff. Whereas in the 1920s, you never heard about this stuff. And what's going on? Anyway, good morning, Daswell. Let me just greet everybody here. Good morning to you. I just kind of get so caught up in this subject. Good morning, Edith. Good morning. Glad that you can join me. And if you have friends, or if you are suffering from this, or even if you're not, applied knowledge is power. So, this is what I found out. So like I said, I had some questions. Well, what is the root cause? What causes it? How is it that some people get it and others don't? And then at some point as we get older, then you start developing all kind of chronic illnesses and things like that. Good morning, Barry. Good morning. Glad that you can join me. Thank you for the love and the hearts. And let's see. Oh, good morning, Ursula. Good morning. Sometimes I get so caught up in what I'm... Good morning, Heart. Glad that you can join me. So, yes, there's something. So I titled this live, Prevention or Intervention. Once we're diagnosed, we just supposedly in the intervention stage, but we never ever get out of it. And when I was pregnant with my first daughter, I had gestational diabetes, so I was alerted that I had the potential to develop that later in life. So knowing that information, well, what do? You start looking at ways to prevent it, right? So this is what I found out. I found out that there are environmental toxins, and we all know that, dust, ash. If you live near factories that emit all these little particles, and there is something called PM 2.5. PM2, it was some new stuff I never really knew about. PM 2.5, and it refers to an atmospheric particulate matter, PM for short, with a diameter of less than 2.5 micrometers. It's really, really, really tiny, which is about 3% the diameter of a human hair. So it's really, really small. And we breathe this stuff in. It gets into our lungs, and it has effects. And according to a study done in the July issue, it was posted in the July issue of 2018. It was done by Lancet Planetary Health. They found a major link between this PM 2.5 and diabetes. A lot of times we're made to think, okay, it's because you have too much sugar, are you eating too much? But it depends on our genetic makeup, our body weight, or size, body type. Some of us have more of a tolerance for it, others don't. And at some point along the way in our lives, it will affect us. So when we say, well, I don't suffer from diabetes, so I don't have to worry about that. You may have family members who do, and at some point or another in your lifetime, you too can develop it. So I was like, okay, well, now that we know there's a root cause, this PM 2.5 is a major factor in developing diabetes. And, you say, okay, well, I can move to a part of the country where there's none. Well, that PM 2.5 is all over, and it's more concentrated in some areas than others. So I also read about this gentleman named Eric Whitfield. Now, why is he important? Well, like him, his wife, she was always athletic, and then she started developing diabetes. She was diagnosed with it, and then started taking the medication, and the medication is supposed to be helping you to get better, but it created another can of worms, more side effects. Well, I'm trying to make a long story short. And the doctor told her after like a few years being on this medication that, well, there's nothing really much we can do, and it's kind of like left her to like a death sentence. And he wasn't willing to just accept that. So he went on a search. He had a job somewhere over in Greece, but didn't want to leave his wife there in the hospital. But, treatment and all that is expensive. He went on over there and had to work with some gentlemen who all in the 50s or over 50, and none of them were sick. There was no diabetes, because he started, like, what's going on? How is it that you guys are immune somewhat? Well, he learned that the spices or the foods that they eat this was in Greece, one of the Greek islands. It's called, what's the name of that island? It's I wrote it down. I'm going to continue this on Wednesday because it's just too much information to do in like 15 minutes. Anyway, share this out. Somebody can benefit from this, and I'm going to come back and share some more. But he found out that there are 8 essential Greek herbs. I don't know if you only find it there in Greece, but I know you can find just about anything in the Amazon rainforest, and that's another can of worms. I'll get to that maybe Friday. But there are 8 essential herbs that if you eat it, not independent by itself, you kind of mix it in the foods that you eat. And he named it's kohlrabi, marjoram, broccoli sprouts, bergamot oranges, jujubes, Grecian laurel leaves. Those are just 6 of the 8. But when you eat these, it has a way of not only clearing up or making you removing the insulin resistance from your system, but it clears up your arteries, and it has all these other benefits where the fat that's accumulating around your weight melts off like butter. But I'm just reading to learn more, because there must be a way. We know the food is the cure for everything, not the supplements as far as chemical concoctions of the doctors or the lab. Anyway, so my title again goes back to prevention or intervention. Prevention is the key. So that means we have to eat the right things. But if you don't know what the right things are, the right foods are, then you leaving yourself at risk to having to depend solely on whatever the doctor's prescribing. So bottom line is there are alternatives to those pills and doctors, all that stuff. That's not natural. There are alternatives. Anyway, so that's pretty much what I have for you today. I'm going to talk some more about how we can use these herbs to improve our health. Good morning to you, Doswell. Good morning to you. Oh, several people came on here. Good morning, Mustafa. Mustafa, I hope I said that right. Good morning, Charles. Good morning. Thank you for joining. Do share this out, because our bodies, we only get it one time, and we have to treat it. We have to treat our bodies and reverence it, take care of it, because if we're careless and we just put all kinds of things into it, we're destroying ourselves. Yes, well, so much that I wanted to say. So I'm gonna have to save some of this for Wednesday, and every morning, every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, come and share a nugget or two. I don't know. Somebody said something. Good morning. Good morning. I don't have it right now, but I know there are people who suffer with it. I'm talking about diabetes. There are other things out there too, but we have to know how to care for our bodies. And there are natural ways that we can. Diabetes, there's no cure for it, but we can manage it. We can manage it, not necessarily with those outside medications, but with natural foods. And anyway, so I'll see you all on Wednesday, but before I go, let me just say there are people who want to do more with their lives. They're really eager to do it, but because of depression, they're drained, they have no energy, which are all these side effects from diabetes. I have that on here. You're susceptible. These are the warning signs of diabetes: frequent urination, dry mouth, constant increased thirst, you're tired, you're hungry, and you're eating more. The more you eat, the more you put on the weight. Then you have aches and pains, visual problems. Then when you have an injury or cut, your wound takes forever to heal. There are a lot of things that can happen to these bodies, and no matter how strong you are, you could still be susceptible if you're not putting the right things in. So I'm going to kind of stop there. Before I go, I do have a link that you can share directly, or you can get it from my YouTube channel page, because there's some people who are fearful of sharing, and some people sharing my stuff. I'm glad, thank you, but some people doing it in a, putting stuff in it. So you can share it out from my Facebook page, from my YouTube channel, and then for those of you who are looking for a way to start your own businesses, there's a link there where you can get the help that you need in any way that you can directly. Anyway. So today is a full day. I have some other things I need to do, and I'll be back on Wednesday with more. What I'm going to talk about on Wednesday is some of the foods. And I have a list of like 16 things that we need to be putting into our bodies. But I'll save that for Wednesday. So thank you for joining me. And I'll see you on Wednesday.